Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Inspiration Station. My name is Debbie and I'd like to thank you for stopping by today. Today's video I'll be working with the Creating with Sketches bundle by Allison from Scrapbook Generation. This is part of a YouTube hop that was started by Coley Bing and involves several different YouTube creators, which I've listed below. And each month we'll be working on a sketch from this bundle. Now I can't share the sketch with you because it is paid content, but there is a link below if you'd like to order this. You can get it from Scrapbook Generation and it's a really reasonable price for the number of sketches that you get. There's 10 sketches, but each sketch has over 20 variations. So it's amazing all the different things that you can do with it. For this month, we'll be working with single page sketch number 2, and I will get started with that in just a minute. To start off, I'd like to show you what I plan on working with. So these are the photos that I plan to use. These are from my daughter's baby shower that we held in December. The theme was Baby, It's Cold Outside. And this is the paper that I bought specifically for that event, just because of this. But I loved the color palette that's being used on this. This is from Echo Park and it's called Winterland. And it really is just a gorgeous color palette. I won't be using the bears today, but I plan to use this piece to fussy cut the flowers out of. So this is where I'll be getting the majority of my embellishments, I think. And then I needed something else besides this. I needed something to break it up. And so I went to my stash and I found another Echo Park line called Be Happy. And it's got this grayish blue, which I think will work really well with the leaves and things that are back here. So I pulled that to use. I'm not sure which one I want to use. I was thinking the hearts, but that may be too busy. So we'll see as I go along. I also pulled out this die from, who is it? It's Sarah Davies. I forgot, Crafter's Companion. And there's several different shapes of snowflakes in here. So I'll probably end up doing some of those. And then I just went through my stash and found some enamel dots that worked with the color palette. So that's what I'll be using. I may add other things in as I go, but that's the plan. So let's get started. All right, so I did need to go off camera to trim the branding strips off of my paper because my 12 by 12 trimmer is actually over on the other side of the desk. So that was off camera. Now I'm just trying to decide which one I want to use for the background because it's actually going to get cut down. So it will be either the pink or the gray, and this will be cut down shorter so that it fits. I think I like the pink better. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to end up doing, is putting the pink as the center piece. I'd like to bring this in somehow, so let me see how that would look. Maybe. We'll see. So this is where I begin to put the page together, and I did make a change from the original sketch. The sketch called for that center square to be about 8.5 inches square, and to me that just gave me too much of a white border. It didn't let me fit all the photos across the way I wanted them to. So mine ended up being, I think, about 10 inches square. That just gave me a little bit more room to play with. And Although I pull out the T-square, I'm really not good at using it. I have a hard time keeping it straight. You can see it's like, I don't know, maybe it's the T-square, maybe it's me, who knows. I'm usually better off just eyeballing it. But I did pull it out and try to use it to get the piece centered. And I just checked the measurements, so it's pretty straight. So I brought my photos back. I have that journaling card that's going to have to be cut down because it's going off the edge. And you'll notice here as I try to put these down, I only put the adhesive through the middle of the photo strip and also through the middle of the card because my intention is to tuck some paper strips in above and below that. And again, I pull out that T-square. I don't know that it's doing me any good, but you know, it looks good, right? So I wanted to get this piece centered as much as possible. And I think I got it pretty good. I probably could have done it eyeballing it, but all right, so that's straight now. Just double checking the width on both the top and the bottom, that they're the same. I'll add that card in, and like I said, I do have to cut the end off of that. So there is a little bit of extra here. I haven't figured out how to speed my recording up more than 2 times. I have to find some software that'll do that for me. But anyway, back comes the T-square to try and make sure that I get it lined up. And then I will cut that off in a little bit. So I'm bringing in the strips. As much as I wanted to use that dark floral paper, I didn't end up using it. I brought the lighter gray paper in, the one that I had originally thought might be the background. I'm going to bring that in and put that at the top and the bottom. On the original sketch, Allison had stitching all around this inside square, so I decided to do that. I thought about using my machine, but I ended up going with hand stitching instead. So you can see here I'm using my Tim Holtz ruler to pierce the holes for the stitching. And it's not perfect. The ruler slipped a couple of times, sort of like that T-square does. So I've glued down the photos and the basic design, and as you can see, I've been very busy die cutting. It was not easy to fussy cut the flowers. There's one, here's the other. These are the only 2 that I did because I really was not pleased with them. I may go back and get some more, but I was really struggling. I usually like to leave a little bit of a white border around because it's easier, but on this one, it just didn't look right. So I decided to go into my dies and try and match up some of the colors. Now the flower shape was very close to this one by Graphic 45, so I have a couple of those, actually different sizes and a few different colors. That I may end up putting in, you know, to add in. But I also have these, I don't know what you'd call them. They look kind of like berries. I really liked the white, adding the white in there. Actually, let me put this one down here because I think I had a couple of them down here. So I have that. And this gray was a really nice match, so that may end up in there. This one matched the shape better, so I cut some of those out. What else do I have? Oh, this is the darker gray. Not sure where that's going to end up, but I think I want some up in there. So I'm just going to play around with it, and from here, see where it goes. after spending a ton of time playing around with those clusters, I decided I'd try putting my title down. And I used these silver stickers from Pink Fresh Studio. I had received them in a grab bag, I think it was in the fall, maybe closer to Christmas. And I really liked the fact that they were a matte silver instead of shiny, because I thought it went well with the gray in the cards, in the title card and the flowers. So after I get this all straightened out, you'll see I did use my We Are Memory Keepers, I forgot what they call it, but it's an alignment guide, I think that's what they call it, to get those figured out ahead of time, get them lined up, and that way I could decide whether I wanted to stack the title or I wanted it to go across the page. And then I ended up deciding to work on a third cluster. I thought, now this cluster is not on the original sketch, but when I looked at the page, I felt that it really needed something down in this section. So I ended up pulling more of the dies, and you'll see I had added some enamel dots to the centers of some of the flowers. And then, of course, the original thought was that I was going to use these snowflakes, and I haven't used them yet on the page, so I had to figure out a way to fit those in. Okay, so this is my finished page. The only thing I'm not sure if I may go back and do is to add some stickles onto like the little white stems here with the berries. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not, so I'm going to let it sit and see. You can see I did make a few changes. I didn't film, but I did have to cut off a piece here. It was one of these really fine branches that was sticking out here, and it was just driving me crazy, so I ended up cutting it off. But other than that, I think it's done. So I thank you for joining me. Remember, this hop is for the entire year. We're using the sketches from Allison Davis. It's the bundle Creating with Sketches. This sketch is single page number 2, and I used option 17 as my jumping off point. So please join us, join the other creators that are listed down below to see what they're doing. And thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And if you like this, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. That would really make my day. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.